episode 093.
Hi, my name is Jason Feifer. I am the editor-in-chief of Entrepreneur Magazine. I was an English major in college and a philosophy minor. And I don't know if either of those things actually helped me in any way, but that's what I studied, and then I got into journalism. To me, the way that I measure success is by impact, which is a really abstract thing that you can't quantify in any particular way. But I want to know, are the things that I'm doing having a tangible, lasting impact on people?
Welcome to Innovator Diaries, a show where influencers and leaders from all walks of life share their story and experiences. You learn the strategies and action points that have helped them find success and get to where they are today. You'll hear their stories and valuable advice to help you on your own path. These messages may also help somebody you know, so please share. Really? You think they didn't help at all?
I don't know, but I don't think so. But I also really undervalue the education that I got. I found traditional education to be rote and not really thoughtful and not designed for the real world. And so I don't know how to draw a line between what I studied and what I do now. But I don't look back upon my college education and the classes that I took as being particularly preparatory for what I do now. But I was involved in the student magazine and eventually ran the student magazine, and I found that to be extremely rewarding and helped set my path.
And you think that that's why you continued with journalism, because you enjoyed it so much?
Yeah, well, also because it was the place where I could put my skills. I found that I knew going into college that I was a writer, that I just had a knack for it. And in high school, I was writing for local music magazines, but I didn't know what I could do with that skill. I tried a number of different things. I tried writing screenplays and a novel and short stories and whatever. And I wasn't great at any of that. It was just, I think, okay. But then I started doing journalism. I interned at a couple local newspapers and got involved in the student publications. And I found that I intuitively understood what it meant to sit down and talk to somebody, gather information, and then create a narrative out of it. And I also loved that journalism opened doors to people's worlds. People just sit down and talk to you about their lives, and they show you their whole beings, and it's amazing and a real honor. And so it became the path that I took.
Great. So, for example, there's millions of people studying journalism, which you didn't. There's millions of people working really hard, doing really clever things. But what do you think you did different from everybody to took you to the top? Because right now you're editing the most important or one of the most important magazines in the world for small businesses.
Yeah. I think that I took a couple risks and they paid off.
Which were what?
They were both quitting jobs, actually. I quit my first two newspaper jobs, and the first one I quit because I hated that work. I wanted to do something else, but that's not a reason to quit by itself. The reason why I quit was because I had an insight. The first time it was that I was working for a tiny little newspaper, and I came to understand that whatever it was that I wanted to do next, which I didn't know exactly, but I knew I wanted to work at the largest publications and I wanted to write for big audiences. I didn't know what that meant, but I just had a sense. And I knew that was never happening if I was just staying at this little newspaper that I was at. Like being good at working for this newspaper was not going to get me anywhere. And so I quit. And I decided to go to the people who I wanted to work for. Like, they weren't going to come to me. They weren't going to find my work in this little newspaper. I had to go to them. So I quit. I sat in my bedroom. I cold pitched these editors, the Washington Post, the New York Times, the Boston Globe, and I started getting hits.
Want to listen to the entire interview? Simply go to innovatordiaries.com/episode number. Or you can find this episode and hundreds of other great stories on Google Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, or whatever your favorite podcast player is. Please check me out on LinkedIn. Follow or connect with me as I'm very proactive on that social network. And finally, subscribe to this YouTube channel. You'll get all the new stories as soon as they're released. See you next time.